Personally, I've heard plenty of stories about women crashing at a male friend's place after missing the last train home, then awkwardly shooting the guy down when he tries to make a move.
Yeah, heard plenty of stories, not lived them, right? It totally happened to my friend, Yuuji.
Who is this Yuuji? Can I meet him?
Is he hot? It's Otaku Tuesday yet again, and we're here in our room.
Yeah, in my room.
Yeah, what is it? Here in my room.
There's that song too, but Beach Boys was the in my room. This first sentence, hashtag relatable.
Yeah.
We witnessed an explosion.
Well, Makina did. Yeah.
Yeah, but
We slept through it.
we slept through it, and now we're here. We're still in the same scene. It isn't officially over.
Yeah, we just kind of gone to our room, I guess, and Makina is in Amane's room sleeping.
Yeah,
Yeah, with a little burn on her arm,
yeah,
and her sister exploded.
maybe.
Your head explode. Sorry.
But I suppose there's only one thing I can do, small as it may be. I'm a grower.
It seems Iris Makina was... Oh wait, that's the wrong voice. I mean, it's kind of the same voice. Seems Iris Makina was mixed up in some trouble, yes?
Ooh, Herm! Right off the bat.
Yes, very good.
You're on top of things as always. Where'd you hear about that? I'm on that site with that one chick.
Yeah. What was it? Thick studs? Are you familiar with Set a Thief to Catch a Thief?
Yeah, I am. It's a membership-based information exchange where you sort of people gather, right? You sort
What
of
do you
people.
mean by you people? Yeah.
Something wrong?
Why do you actually know that? Who told you? I really can't let down my guard around you for a minute.
Anyway, how much information did you manage to gather over there?
Not much more than what you're getting from the news sites and television programs, really. As for Ichigaya, we're essentially in wait-and-see mode. Not even on the alert yet.
Yet, does that mean there's a possibility of initiating active observation in the future?
You don't need to know that.
Julia, come on.
The sweet-talking voice isn't going to work this time.
How about sexy smolder?
Oh no!
Can I come to your place tonight?
No.
Just wanted to have some of your home cooking for the first time in a while. Still no good?
Say anything you want. The answer is still no.
Herm. Okay, come on over.
Well, I'm just gonna herm then.
I guess I'll just go Herm then. When you refuse me that stubbornly, it's as good as admitting there's a high chance the problem's going to get worse. Does this have anything to do with you not picking up your phone lately?
Meh.
The news shows seem to be pushing a theory that this was an act of terrorism motivated by the construction of a nuclear power plant. What's the real story?
I can't answer that question.
I see. Sorry, I'm not looking to harass you here.
They were doing it though.
Can you answer 2 more questions? For every question you can't answer, I shall ask 2 more. Whatever information you can give me is fine.
Go ahead. I'll listen if nothing else.
How is Makina's younger sister doing?
Oh, she's super dead. It's exactly as you've heard on the news. She's alive, but extremely critical. Things are very touch and go.
Will she make it?
Sorry, but I just don't know. I mean, she was a grass type and now it's fire, so... It seems she may need skin grafts and organ transplants. There's a rumor that she'll be transported overseas to wait for a donor as soon as she stabilizes.
I see.
Are those your only questions?
Nope, there's one other. On an unrelated topic, this is the one thing I really want to know.
What color underwear are you wearing right now? Ah, figures.
Blue.
Alright then, let's hear it.
It's blue. If Makina's sister ends up losing her current position due to her injuries, is there a possibility Makina will be expected to resume that role like in The Lion King?
I don't care to answer that question.
Let me rephrase it then. Is there a possibility Makina's going to be in danger going forward? Oh, fuck yes.
Yuuji, just how much have you dug up about this?
Essentially nothing. My nose is just twitching, that's all. It was basically a leading question.
Well, I suppose it would be problematic if you ended up taking ill-advised actions based off speculation. I'll be honest with you. There's a very real possibility Irasu Makina will be in danger. I would estimate about a 70% chance she's going to be brought into this in some way. That said, I'll almost certainly be contacting you in regards to this matter very soon. For now, kindly refrain from doing anything stupid. Stand by and wait for your orders as always.
Hold on, doing something stupid.
I'm something stupid, do me.
In other words, no independent use of force outside the range of self-defense.
Exactly right. Dogs should sit obediently out inside their doghouses until their master yanks on their leash.
Oh, sorry, I just came.
Good boy. But if some fishy stranger drops by, don't just lie there sulking. Make sure you bark for us.
Can I really trust you on this?
Don't mistrust your master. It's the most fundamental prerequisite of a good dog. Even Asako knew that. You could count the number of times she outright ignored orders on your fingers.
Oh, alright. Try counting them.
1, 2, 3,
Doing hive.
4, 14,
Good enough.
5, 6, 7.
Alright, you're running out of fingers fast. I'm counting my toes.
Shut up, alright? Imitating that woman is an extremely poor life strategy. Just behave yourself until you get your orders, understood? We clear?
Yes, mommy.
Good point. I don't remember giving birth to a nasty child like you. Are we done now? I'm hanging up. This is an entrance only.
Yeah, thanks. I'll be in touch. Whew. Well, I'm turned on now.
Now, back to the masturbation.
Oh, it's not small anymore. Well then, what to do?
You woke it up.
It's clear that things are going to get troublesome in a number of ways, but as always, I'm in the dark on the specific details. If Chip telling me to do nothing, that's probably the optimal choice at the moment. Even so, that doesn't make it any easier to accept. Get moving before you start thinking too much was a favorite saying of my, master's. But Jib's fond of acting on the basis of incomplete information is like asking for a disaster. For now, it might be wisest just to stay at Makina's side as much as possible, while preparing myself for the possibility of an emergency. There's no need to overthink this. I know what I want to protect, and I can see it clearly now. Ideally, I'd love to extinguish the source of this fire before the sparks spread in our direction, but if that's not a possibility, I just need to be ready for when things do get ugly. After all, you won't find many guard dogs with nastier fangs than mine.
I'm so cool.
I've been sharpening these teeth a very long time for this exact purpose.
My dentist hates me.
You're not supposed to do that. Teeth made to catch prey by the tail. Drag them close and rip out the windpipe in one bite.
But if you had to drag them by the tail, then that's the second bite. My strategy!
Although hearing of her sister's survival calmed Makina down significantly, the events of yesterday are still painfully fresh in her mind. She shows us a brave attempt at a smile, but can't hide the weariness beneath it.
Plus her smile sucks. She hasn't filed any of her teeth.
When the girl declares herself uninterested in breakfast, I enlist Sachi's assistance in preparing unique but nutritious mackerel pumpkin soup.
Gross.
From Amane's recipe notebook. Makina refuses the meal with an almost frightened expression on her face, so I proceed to pin her arms behind her back as our reliable maid emotionlessly crams spoonfuls of food into her mouth. Through this admirable display of teamwork, we successfully force-feed the girl the breakfast her body needs.
And definitely don't scar her in any way.
I know it might be a little hard to eat right now, but your injuries won't heal if you don't get adequate nutrients. You know what? You pissed me off, so you're gonna get a germ.
How dare you, young lady!
You're getting all worked up over nothing. Basically just a little sunburn, you know. You were lucky this time, yes. Just be grateful that explosion didn't give you an afro.
That'd look cool. I'd look fly as fuck, don't...
It might sound like a joke, but the hot pulse of air from an explosion burns your hair starting from the tip, sometimes curling it pretty dramatically.
Be looking like Monica in Jamaica.
As a general rule, it's a good idea to brush a hand over your head when a bomb blast goes by. I'm sure that's the first thing you're thinking of after a bomb blast goes by.
Yeah, of course. Wait, was that Jamaica? Bahamas.
It was wherever they were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was the Bahamas. I don't remember where, where the...
Bermuda,
It's all the same. Somewhere in the
Bahama.
tropics.
Come on, pretty mama.
Bahama? Yeah.
Often as not, cinders that used to be part of your hair will fall off like sesame seeds from a bun. All right, I want a Big Mac. This is a good opportunity. Why don't I teach you the anti-explosive self-defense procedure?
McDonald's has chicken strips now.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Sweet. I mean, again, it was a long time ago, but...
Yeah, they just brought them back. I don't know. There was like an ad that said they're coming next week, but I was at McDonald's like 2-3 days ago, and they did the little, would you like to try our blah, 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 blah chicken
Yeah.
strips? It's like, no
Nice.
thanks.
Did you get another flame sauce?
No, I didn't. I don't know.
No, whoa! What's that? The word's got a pretty cool ring to him.
Listen up, Makina. The sentence, "It's getting dangerous, you take this," isn't just a vapid catchphrase of self-satisfied middle-aged men who think they figured out how the world works.
And pass out swords to random elf children in caves.
Whoa, that's not a sword, that's your penis.
As you reminded yesterday, there truly are countless dangers lurking all around us. When such threats arrive, they arrive suddenly, and all too often we are completely unprepared to defend ourselves.
Yeah, that spider came out of nowhere.
Indeed, such complacent carelessness has become an unfortunate element of our national character. This is the very reason Japan has earned the disgraceful title of pacifist patsies among the major powers.
Oh, yeah, that Donald Trump is something else. I'm getting the feeling you're starting in on one of those lame rants again, but I'll clam up good and at least pretend to listen.
Oh, I do the same thing.
Look, kid, even if you're thinking that sort of thing, it's better not to actually say it.
No, sorry about that. So, what's going on with anti-exploding?
Okay, let's try this again. I'll now initiate you in the basics of personal defense against explosions. Listen carefully. The fundamental principle is low to the ground. When an explosion's coming, get down first and think later.
I don't think I have a lot of time to think when there's just a random explosion.
I'm already close to the ground.
I fell down because of the explosion. When you sense an impending explosion, get down first and think later.
I tell my wife that. I'm like, listen, if you sense any impending explosion, just get down. Stop thinking and just get down.
Indeed, go prone and get yourself as flat to the
yeah.
ground as you possibly can. With the
Stick
exception
your tongue out also.
of some specially designed charges, explosions naturally tend to direct their power upward.
Well, if I'm on my back.
If there's a foxhole nearby, claim it. Doesn't matter if it's full to the brim with a mixture of muddy water and excrement. Oh
Okay,
God.
well, now I'm out.
Oh, doesn't matter if your buddy's pathetic corpse is lying inside. Jump
Okay,
in
well, hang on.
without a moment's hesitation.
Now we're talking about like a sharing situation.
Jump into the foxhole without hesitation.
After this, assume the explosive position.
It's a spread eagle type of deal.
There's a small flap of cartilage in front of your ear hole called the tragus.
Yeah, tragus.
Okay. Strongly press down on these with your thumbs to protect your eardrums.
I only know that because there's piercings, tragus piercings.
Yeah,
you can get.
okay, yeah. Next, open your mouth wide. This reduces the burden on your eardrums and keeps your lungs from popping like balloons under the pressure of the shockwave.
Plug your ears, open your mouth wide, and look up. Protect your eardrums from the explosive pressure.
Open your mouth and close your eyes. You're in for a big surprise.
You've experienced for yourself just how powerful that shockwave is, so I'm sure you can understand, but don't underestimate that pressure. When the explosion occurs indoors, it's even more powerful. If you're close to the blast, it's like being squeezed in the hand of a giant. The pain is intense. Sometimes the pressure can push your eyes clean out of their sockets. While pressing the tragus on both ears with your thumbs, use the remaining fingers to cover your eyelids. Keep your eyeballs where they belong and defend them against the flash of the explosion.
No, hold down your eyelids with your fingers. Defend your eyeballs from explosive pressure and powerful light. Name my D&D character Tragus.
Good. All right then, next up.
Sounds like some kind of fish person.
We're beginning image training based on a hypothetical scenario.
Or what my ex-girlfriend used to call me.
Yeah.
Tragus.
Sounds like a mage. Tragus.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. Situation as follows. Recon mission in the subtropical jungle. The time, dawn. Your enemies are powerful local guerrillas. They're well equipped and have excellent morale. Enter the scenario.
And they know how to ride bikes.
Entering scenario. Locked and loaded. Bananas.
Enemy raid.
Oh my god, we're all gonna die.
At my abrupt snarl, Makina throws herself flat to the ground. The enemy have ambushed you. Your position is pinned down by machine gun fire. Don't raise your head an inch. Keep that chin nuzzling the ground. And crawl along the ground to the trench visible ahead. Just as instructed, Makina creeps along the floor on her knees and elbows, clutching an imaginary rifle. A moment later, she slipped her body into the space between the bed and the table.
No, trench secured.
As Makina screams this report, she repositions an imaginary iron helmet on her head in order to regain a clear field of vision. Not half bad. She seems to be pretty deeply into this scenario. Incoming from enemy position. M69.
Nice.
Assume the explosive defense position.
Explosive 69 position.
Exactly, yes. Makina promptly plugs up both her ears, opens her mouth wide, and strongly presses down on her eyelids, lowering her body as close to the ground as she can. She melds her body with the trench, tensing in preparation for the blast. Kaboom!
Kaboom!
You damn fool, your rear end's sticking up into the air. Shrapnel has just robbed you of your left buttock.
No, that's the best one.
Get it down. Get that ass down, shoddy. I vigorously trample down on Makina's rear end to emphasize the point.
Lowering S, sir.
Oh my god. The other girls are just in the next room hearing this through the wall, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. She hit the floor, and then next thing you know, a basic grenade technique is to throw at 2-second intervals. The next one's coming. Assume the explosive defense position.
The explosive defense position.
Okay, kaboom.
Kaboom!
Excuse me, can you people not scream kaboom boom? Sorry. At the top of your lungs first thing in the morning? What are you even doing in here? I thought you were having sex, and now I'm even more mad.
This is much more embarrassing.
Just your typical early morning anti-explosives training. If you think of it as an expression of diligent devotion to national defense, doesn't this almost bring a tear to your eye? You're welcome to join in, Michiru.
I understood like every third word, so I'm just gonna stick with angry. No way! I mean, what the heck is this anti-explosives training in the first place?
As you know, Makina happened on the scene of a terror bombing yesterday afternoon. Accordingly, we're training to deal with similar scenarios. There's no downside to acquiring as many survival skills as you can.
Well, you know what they say, explosions never strike in the same place twice. Oh, please.
Socrates.
It's a little ironic that a Japanese person would say that. Oh, please, this is just ridiculous.
Instructor, sir, I've spotted a doping dimwit who wouldn't last 5 seconds in a real emergency. It's a beer.
Don't call me a dimwit! I'm not saying the training itself is stupid, okay? I just want to know why do you have to do it so loudly? Keep it down a little.
Explosions are loud.
Well, I thought a silly over-the-top game might briefly get Makina's mind off the fact that her little sister's fighting for her life, but thanks for bringing it up again.
I didn't, you did! No!
What? Then why did you just remind her?
Sorry about that, Makina. Michiru says we're being too noisy, so it seems like we'll have to call this training off and talk about your sister.
Oh, you're so cool using her almost dead sister to torture me. What a Chad.
What?
It may be nothing but an innocent safety drill, but if the local civilian populace can't be convinced, we have no choice but to discontinue it. Please understand, Makina.
I guess I'll just go kill your sister myself. Because Michiru told me to. Oh, come on! Do you have to make it sound like I'm the bad guy here?
Okay then, Chiru, you want to join in too?
That's not...
Well, I mean, I do understand what you're trying to say, Michiru. In reality, the odds of any one person encountering a dangerous explosion in their lifetime are probably fairly low. It's more likely that this training will end up being meaningless. But worst comes to worst. Won't the people who wasted a few minutes planning for the what-ifs be the one who get out alive? Isn't that what survival skills are?
Not really. Statistically, it's just dumb luck.
For example, Michiru, let's say you take a vacation abroad to a country where the fire laws aren't well defined or enforced. As you're gobbling down a tasty local delicacy, a fire breaks out in the crowded restaurant.
Ooh, a tasty local delicacy. We'll call him Fernando.
As panicked customers stampede to push their way through the single doorway, you glance upward and notice the flames slowly reaching their way to a cylinder of propane gas. What do? Think fast. Well, this is the difference between a person who's been trained and a helpless spectator.
That's an awfully specific example. That's only happened to me like 3 times.
I'll just jump in Fernando's arm and he'll whisk me away.
Yeah, just use Fernando as a human shield.
I'm sure most of this is going in one ear and out the other. You're probably not even taking me seriously. But even so, there's something I feel obligated to tell you. Those who laugh at the diligent self-improvement of others will end up crying in the end. Without fail, try to remember that.
Yeah, that's what those weird end-of-the-world preppers say all the
I
time.
was just gonna say, you're definitely one of those people with 2 years worth of beans in a bunker, aren't you?
Wait, hold on. Was I actually wrong about this?
Chiru. Everyone makes mistakes, you know? Nothing to be ashamed of. When you notice one, all you need to do is correct it. It's never too late to turn your life around. There's plenty of time to get back on the straight and narrow. After all, Chiru, you're still alive.
What's with you talking all big? Don't tell me. I'm being preached at? Am I getting a life lesson? Me? From Makina?
In conclusion, it doesn't matter if you approach this as a kind of a game. Remembering the basic... Him and Makina, like, turn to the side like they're looking at a camera.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing?
Well, I guess now I know. And knowing is half the battle.
And then they just high-five and stand there frozen.
Juicy Yuuji.
Remembering the basic principles somewhere in the corner of your mind is good enough. Why not join our anti-explosive training, Michiru?
But I was just in my room mastering the cello. Okay.
Crazy! He made Chiru say okay? This guy's just sweet-talked a woman into submission. Papa's just as amazing as I thought, you know.
Didn't we just go over this? Even if you think stuff like that, don't actually say it.
Huh? Am I being tricked here? I'm not being tricked, right?
Michiru, my friend,
Thank you.
think this over carefully. I have no reason to deceive you. Even if I was just thinking of Gandalf talking to Frodo.
Oh, yeah.
Fred? No, like I have no reason to deceive you.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I did, hypothetically, it would be the result of my concern for your well-being. You understand?
I am not trying to rob you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing! This guy's amazing!
When we use the phrase sweet-talking, the nuance is unusually fairly negative. You tend to imagine someone coaxing an innocent through insincere lip service, but there's nothing inherently wrong about persuasion.
I gave you insincere lip service.
For example, if I sweet-talk Michiru into re-examining
What kind
her
of threat
values.
is that?
Yeah,
You're gonna blow me, but it's it's not gonna mean anything. Oh no.
I'm gonna be unenthusiastic about it, though.
You're gonna get your dick sucked, but I'm gonna be pouty about it the whole time.
Oh, shit. I've peacefully brought her around to my way of thinking. Isn't that an admirable alternative to conflict?
Yeah, just convert.
Granted, it's hard to feel too self-satisfied about this particular outcome.
Ah, idiot! Your butt's sticking up into the air! Those pretty little buttocks are gonna be full of shrapnel! And are you planning to send your ass back home in a box? Idiot! Get it down!
I'm sorry. Is it a comfy box?
You haven't begun to be sorry, maggot! Didn't I just teach you to answer my orders with hoo-ah? Go stick a hand up your mama's pussy and grab the brains you forgot inside her belly.
Holy shit.
That's an order.
Oh, this is awful. It's just too much. Michiru presses herself flat to the earth in the explosive defense position. Makina matches a heel down onto her posterior, snarling viciously. Someone like Yumiko is about to appear.
You're right.
I can sense.
Amane gets off the bus or whatever and is just like, actually, I'm just gonna go back.
Just gets back on.
Yeah.
You can feel a slight glimmer of conscience in that the girl at least removed her boots first, but seriously. Where did she even pick up this demon marine drill instructor routine? She's impressively proficient at the verbal abuse.
Hold on, time out! Yuuji!
What's up?
Don't give me that. Is that Army Rangers game you two play always like this?
I wouldn't say always, but in general we engage in roughly similar activities.
It's a game, right? Just make believe, right? Why is she so serious about this? I really don't want to stick my hand in my mom's pussy.
Harsh training's a good thing when you're actually in the field. Isn't the thought, that drill instructor put me through worse than this, kind of reassuring? Approach your drills like battle and battle like your drills.
But I have pigtails, not drills. Isn't that a little wrong somehow? I mean, we're just students, right?
There's nothing wrong with the theory. If anything's wrong about this scenario, wouldn't it be the way you swallowed my crap hook, line, and sinker?
I was tricked after all.
What's all this then? Whining already? Seems you're lacking sufficient motivation. Alright, let's get some spirit back into you. Give me 30 squat jumps.
Squat jumps? Does the jump come before the squat, like in Halo, or do I squat and then jump?
Link your hands behind your head and go down on one knee.
Oh, I've done this before.
And then jump and switch to your other leg and I'll do it next to you. So imitate me, okay? Prepare for squat jumps.
Ready to squat jump.
Okay, 1. Ow, fuck. Oh, my ass. 2. You hold it, maggot. Why'd your knees keep rattling against each other like castanets? You're barely getting off the ground. I want 15 centimeters. We're starting over. Alright, 1. I'm telling you not to rattle your damn knees. Yeah.
I can't read you, alright?
Well,
Well, my work here's done.
I don't think rattling knees honestly matter much either way, but busting your balls over an arbitrary little thing they can find is a drill instructor's job. The girl seems oddly professional about this, down to the strangest little details. Have to admit, this might feel a little too realistic for a game. Makina, your cell phone seems to be ringing.
Whoa, you're right. I wonder who's calling.
Makina takes out her phone from her pocket and checks the caller ID screen, but...
I forgot to go to work.
What's wrong? Aren't you going to answer it?
Yeah! Ranger Matsushima, keep going as you are until I return. I'm gonna go behind the totally inconspicuous phone call bush.
Everybody's got different names for that bush. It's weird.
With those words, Makina trots off toward the nearby bicycle parking space, her phone still buzzing away. When it comes to people calling Makina's cell phone, Suo Amane would be by far the most likely possibility, followed by Komine Sachi. But if the call was from either of them, she'd hardly need to be so secretive about it.
What do you mean you're out of pepperoni? What kind of pizza place runs out of pepperoni?
16, 17, 18.
Hey there, Michiru. You can stop now. Sorry about dragging you into the game.
Hey, Yuuji, you know what? I think this is starting to feel a little fun.
That so? Well, good for you.
My knees hurt. 19! 20!
Your knees, they've fallen off. Michiru's knees rattle violently as she continues her vigorous leaps. Depending on how you look at it, the strange smile on her face could be seen as the delirious expression of a soldier fallen prey to self-destructive despair. Well, whatever. This is pretty heavy exercise given the heat, so I suppose a bit of temporary lunacy isn't surprising.
I'm about to go Gomer Pyle on your ass.
Heat and exhaustion make people go a little off in the head. However, the person in question usually doesn't realize it. Asako once told me a story from a time she'd been shipped off to a war in South America, where an unending heat wave and enemy bombings that came like clockwork every day wore down her nerves to the point of numbness. Eventually, the company commander was wounded in action, and a new first lieutenant who arrived from the rear took over. He was apparently a timid man, prone to trembling in his trench when the bombs began to fall. Asako found his shaking so hilarious that she'd spend the entire duration of the attacks cackling uproariously. The lieutenant interpreted this as a sign of derangement and promptly had her shipped back home. What's abnormal? What's normal? Depends entirely on your circumstances and perspective.
You're being dishonorably discharged because you made me feel bad.
Granted, I'm tempted to interpret Michiru's current actions as evidence that she's lost it. Yeah, she's got... the people here have like this crazy tendency to just go along with whatever is happening.
Yeah.
Except for Yumiko.
You kind of have to.
But to Michiru, this course of action might seem like the most reasonable thing in the world.
Fuck!
That's not a number.
Oh, it's not? I'm not very good at English.
Okay, no. Isn't this girl just genuinely losing it? Given this heat and her clear physical exhaustion, it's possible that her brain's beginning to melt in the stew of lactic acid.
Papa.
Oh, hey, Makina, what's up? Who was that?
Papa John's. Or had a pepperoni.
What? How is a pizza place out of pepperoni?
It was Grandpa.
Grandpa would be...
Your dad.
Yeah.
No, well, my mom's Papa.
The former head of the Irisu family, eh? And what did he have to say?
Is it really the best place? Let's go over to that bush.
I see. In that case, let's head somewhere a little more private.
Apples!
Actually, hold on just one second. Mind if I ask you a quick question before we go, Makina? What exactly did you mean, stick your hand up your mom's pussy?
You know exactly what I mean. Yeah, what's up?
What does the word apus signify?
I don't know. I mean, that's what you're worried about here? Not Chiru, who's currently holding her knees and rolling around on the ground?
She does that all the time.
I mean, she's laughing, right?
No, I guess it's all good then.
It's not! Oh, why am I laughing?
See, she's fine.
Is it gonna be like this forever?
Michiru seems to have botched a landing and twisted her ankle. The heat and fatigue have clearly done a number on the girl. She laughs hysterically, as though confusing pain with pleasure.
Been there.
Well, now, what to do? For the moment, Makina and I surround the girl at a distance and poke at her with a stick. Unfortunately enough, Sachi happens to pass by.
Well, hello there. I was just hanging out in the maid bush.
We got a bush for everything.
It's the same bush.
Yeah, it's all one bush,
Everybody
but
just has
they're
a different name for the same bush.
But they're convinced that there's so many bushes here.
Yeah.
After we explain the situation, she says simply, "Leave it to me. Leave it to me." Sorry. And leaves the courtyard at a trot. Assuming the maid had run off to call an ambulance or something of the sort, we wait by Michiru's side offering encouraging words after poking her with a stick.
Yeah, she's still alive.
This continues for about 15 minutes or so. At long last, Sachi returns in a pristine white maid uniform, cheerfully singing, "Wee woo, wee woo," and proceeds to nimbly snap together a folding aluminum stretcher. She changed clothes first? Can we see it? I'm certain we're all thinking it, but nobody dares to actually voice the words. In any case, Makina and I go with the flow and trust Michiru to her new nurse's enthusiastic care.
It's like a Tiger King when one of his workers lost an arm to a tiger, and the first thing he did was put on a paramedic jacket.
And then offer our brave colleague a deeply sincere salute as she's rolled off on the wheeled stretcher like a cylinder of propane on a cart.
Well, that was weird, huh?
So, are you willing to tell me about that call?
Yeah, I mean, I want you to hear about it.
I'll listen.
Hello, this is Makina.
Oh, it's you, Makina. It's really been a while.
Yeah, Grandpa, it's been a while, but why now all of a sudden?
Sorry, Makina. Try to speak up a little. I'm getting up there in the years. My ears don't work as well as they used to.
The person on the other end of the line was Makina's grandfather. The call had been placed directly by Irisu Haruchika, the man who led the Irisu clan before his retirement.
I'm sure you've heard by now, but Serena? I don't know. I'm old. Was in a serious accident yesterday.
No, that wasn't an accident, Grandpa.
It was an accident, Makina. An unfortunate accident. Do you understand?
No, I don't even want to understand.
Tell me, Makina, don't you think it's about time you came home?
No, why are you saying this now, Grandpa? Why now after all this time?
Don't be too angry with me. I know I didn't come to visit you in a hospital, but I did have my reasons. And until just the other day, I wasn't even aware you'd been discharged.
A faction within the branch house afraid of Makina's potential return might have deliberately prevented that information from reaching him. However, when a hefty check of 70 million yen was issued in Makina's name, an inquiry from the bank found its way directly to her grandfather. Only then did he learn Makina had been released some time before.
I've been told you were still disabled and receiving long-term medical care. If you left the hospital, why did you come to see me?
Oh God, I'm dying.
Just getting into character. Makina struggled to find an answer to her grandfather's question.
Are you still caught up on what happened to Masataka-kun? That was an accident. I mean, your dad was shot right in front of you. What? Get over it.
Yeah, and then you spent like a week with his corpse.
Yeah.
Her father, the person. Are you still hung up on your dad's
You're
death?
still on that shit? Oh my God. Suck up.
I was like, oh my God. There was a, I think it was Brett Favre. Like his dad died, and then like it was literally the same day or the next day he had a game that he played and like did really well. And like the interviewer was like, said I don't even remember, something like, how do you feel about your dad's death? It's like, oh, it's great. Well, I mean,
What do you think I feel, you asshole?
yeah, like it was just the weirdest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her father, the person she loved more than anyone else in the world, was gone. All that was left there was her nasty, high-strung mother, her grandmother, who used to stare at her with the cold eyes of someone contemplating a broken toy, her kind but willfully blind grandfather, utterly unreliable when push came to shove,
Not willful. I have cataracts.
and the servants who suffocated her spirit, justifying everything with the words, I'm afraid that these were my instructions.
And you have a sister.
At a glance, that house offered everything a person could possibly want, but it was just a hollow shell full of hollow people, a gilded prison. It was the sort of place where saying, I want to learn how to ride a bike, would result in someone buying you a purebred horse you didn't even ask for. What was there to miss about a home like that?
Here you go. This horse knows how to ride a bike. So it's her on the horse on a bike.
This is actually pretty cool. Yeah, Grandpa, I don't want to go back to that house.
They'd no doubt take good care of her if she returned, but only because they valued her as an asset or respected her position. Nobody there would even try to understand Makina herself. Some might say, so what, sounds like a pretty good deal, and maybe they wouldn't be wrong. Others might say, you ran away from home, but you're still going to the school on your family's money, living completely freely. What right do you have to complain? And she couldn't argue the point. But even so, just thinking about returning to that house made Makina's eyes fill with tears.
All my life people have told me, Rachel, you're a shoe. You're a shoe. You're a shoe.
What if I want to be a hat? Or a purse?
Is anybody else following this?
Everything that was precious to her, everything she needed to be herself, her individuality and personality, all such inconvenient baggage would be ruthlessly thrown away. Money and power warp people beyond recognition. Makina knew that all too well. She was simply afraid of that house.
I understand how you feel. It's a heavy burden to bear. Not just anyone could do this job. That's probably a little frightening to think about. I mean, technically I could do it, but I don't want to. But precisely because you feel that way, there are things only you can do. Come back home, Makina.
I don't want to, Grandpa. I'm not the person I used to be. I don't want to be like that ever again.
Seriously?
Seriously. I'm sorry, Grandpa, but I don't wanna. I can't take that place anymore.
I see. But I'm afraid it's not likely anyone would accept that answer.
Good.
Well, alright. I won't ask you to come back right away, but will you try to think this over for a while? Think very carefully. Imagine yourself a year from now, murdered because you didn't take the job. 10 years from now, and 30 years from now, then decide what you really want to do.
Claim the throne. I don't think Grandpa, people from the main family, really are gonna give up on getting me to come back. Maybe, just maybe, the bombing yesterday might have been something people from the main family did to make me come back.
But if they'd screwed up even slightly, you could have gotten blown away too.
They wouldn't have known I was gonna be there. People from the main family really were behind it. I think they must have been pretty panicked when I showed up.
I don't really follow all this business with the main family and branch family. At the end of the day, what are their objectives here?
To blow up children. Yeah, it's basically a squabble for control between the two families. The branch family wants my sister to inherit leadership as their figurehead, and the main family wants me there instead. They're after power and money.
So, let's pull a Lindsay Lohan on them. What movie was that?
Freaky Friday?
No.
Parent Trap?
Yeah.
Herm! I'm not familiar with the exact details, but I understand the scale of the prize we're talking about here. The Irisu family's long-standing assets extend to countless subsidiaries, both foreign and domestic. They're not just prominent in industrial manufacturing, financial, and retail, but also major players in iron and steel and shipbuilding and even armaments. The money flowing through the Irisu apparently rivals the budget of a small country. A pencil made by the Irisu scratches down your name on the birth certificate in a government office. A pencil? I probably feel like maybe we should use a pen on that one.
Yeah. Also, how much money are we wasting on the pencil department over here?
You eat food imported by the Irisu in your school cafeteria as you grow. In time, you find employment in an enterprise under the Irisu umbrella. When you grow sick, you're taken to an Irisu hospital, and when you die, you rest under a gravestone manufactured by the Irisu.
Unless you're my master.
Yeah. If you're born in Japan, it's all about impossible not to interact with that family in some way. But despite this astonishingly wide influence, the name Irisu itself will probably get you a blank stare as often as not. The brands in their conglomerate include many household names, but the parent company itself is fairly obscure.
Perfect word for that.
So she's like the Rothschild family?
Yeah, pretty much.
They say those with the real power don't tend to advertise it, like the old nobility hidden up above the clouds. And Irisu Makina, who stands to inherit the seat at the very top of the lofty house, is still in her teens, practically a child.
And dumb as shit.
You could blame the girl if she panicked in the face of that burden, if she ran away and tried to hide. She just wants to watch tuna fish, man.
Right.
Your grandfather said you don't have to come back immediately, didn't he?
Yeah.
In that case, it seems to me you should start by mulling this over. First of all, whether you're going to return to your family or not. And once that's settled, figure out what you're going to do when you return, or what you're going to do when you refuse. What you really want to do from now on.
I wanna.
All I want to do is a zoom, zoom, zoom.
Your grandpa gives you the chance to deliberate about this, right?
He'll make me wear matching socks, and I don't want to.
Oops.
Oh no! Well, yeah, but Even Grandpa isn't gonna wait forever, you know. He'll probably die too.
Not a problem. I'll get you as much time as you need.
I'll kill him.
How?
That depends on how they want to play it. I haven't settled on any specific plans yet, but I'm ready to do anything I need to.
Anything?
That's right. Don't you remember? I made you a promise, Makina. Even if everyone else in the world became your enemy, I'd protect you.
I really want a pepperoni pizza from Papa John's.
I can't. I'm sorry. Anything? You'll even stick your hand up your mom's pitch. Stop saying that.
No, I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. Those words weren't just for show. I really will do whatever I possibly can. You don't need to worry about a thing. Just go about your normal life exactly as you have.
Yeah, but I was already doing that. Doing my bread delivery, and then, I was almost bombed.
Yeah. Hard to live your life when things around you are exploding.
Don't worry, you've given me fair compensation for my services. There's nothing to feel guilty about.
Actually, I kind of feel guilty about giving you the check in the first
I kind
place.
of need that money back now if I'm going to be taking over.
You're important enough to me that I was willing to make that promise. Hell, at this point, you've become my purpose in life.
That's kind of sad.
I'm living for your sake, and I'll die for your sake. I've been prepared for that from the start.
It's pronounced sake.
We own that too.
In conclusion, there's no problem here. Sorry, or the one underneath. I'll kick the crap out of every last jackass stupid enough to harass you. You just sit back and see what a man who's found something to protect can do.
Beacheru comes in. Hey, you left one of your shoes outside.
Really? Are you really okay with that?
I am your father. Remember?
No, that's impossible.
Showing off in front of our kids like this is what we do. There's nothing a father doesn't know. No problem he can't overcome. In other words, relax and think this over carefully. Whatever your choice, I'll accept it absolutely and support you with everything I've got.
Papa!
Overcome with emotion, even beginning to sob a little, Makina ducks her upper body low to the ground and rushes forward. Split second later, her forehead smacks into my solar plexus.
Oh my god, right in the solar plexus.
With a solid thunk.
Oh! I'm really upset with Papa John's. So if I reclaim the family throne, I'm just gonna buy the pizza chain.
I mean, what the fuck is Canadian bacon anyway?
It's not Canadian, it's not bacon.
To be perfectly honest, the impact's so sharp it's difficult even to breathe properly. But sinking to my knees here would hardly help me keep the girl's head hard-won trust. Hard-won. With an extremely strained attempt at a smile, I grab hold of Makina's fuzzy little head, squeeze her tightly against my chest. Strongly, very strongly, and the protective bear hug of a reliable parent. After that day, I've attempted to stay close by Makina's side as much as possible. I sincerely doubt there'd be many idiots reckless enough to try and pull anything inside this school. Essentially a stronghold of the
Sarah Jessica Raphael.
family. But preparing for that long shot...
Sally Jesse Raphael. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, who's that?
Yeah.
But preparing for that long shot, what if, is my job. Fortunately, I've been trained in guarding someone without even allowing them to realize they're being protected. The only real problem is night. That's when the zombies come out.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my nightlight.
Without a doubt, human beings are most defenseless when they're sleeping. It's the ideal timing for a raid or kidnapping attempt.
So I bought a bunch of 5-hour energies.
Even I'm not capable of staying awake constantly to protect the girl as she sleeps. As the single simplest countermeasure, it would be ideal if I could arrange to spend my nights with Makina, but...
How convenient.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, well, is it okay if I sleep with Papa in his room from now on?
Caught off guard by this admittedly rather abrupt inquiry, Amane stares intently down into Makina's face for a long moment, and then turns her laser-like gaze on me.
We'll all sleep in the room
I was going to say, just buy a house at this point and
Yeah.
all live together. Makina's expression is unusually serious, with no hint of the standard messing around. And although this would usually be the part where I deliver a karate chop to that well-positioned head of hers, I simply stand quietly behind the girl without raising any objection. Apparently Amane senses something strange is in the air. She lets out a long, soft sigh and then nods deeply to herself.
No. Makina, do you know what you're saying?
Yeah?
If that's your decision, I won't say a thing, but now that you've made up your mind, make sure you tough it out all the way to the end, okay? Even if it gets scary or it starts to hurt, don't say stop halfway through. Night won't last forever.
Are you talking about what I think you are?
I think so. The morning will always come. Be brave and keep hanging in there. I'll get you a poster with a cat on it.
No. Yeah. I'll hang in there, but,
As for you, Yuuji, if Makina's suffering or having a hard time, try to be considerate instead of just thinking about what's easiest for you.
Well, yeah, that's the plan.
Also, I expect you to film it for me. Also, I expect you to be responsible about contraception. You have condoms, I assume.
At least 18. Okay, Amane, let me return that question from a moment ago. Do you have any idea what you're saying?
What?
What doesn't cut it, woman. Although it seems there may have been a slight discrepancy in our understanding of the situation. It never happens. It was agreed that Makina would spend her nights in my
At
room.
least I know now that Amane has come to terms with it.
Yeah. They're going to have an intense clan meeting about this again.
Oh, God.
Regrettably, my room has only one bed,
How unfortunate.
and it's a single. It wouldn't be so bad to huddle together for warmth in the winter, but at this time of the year, the idea is not particularly appealing. Heaven forbid we, pull her bed in here or, get a sleeping bag or any
Right.
other situation. Yielding the bed to
Or send
Makina.
Amane to this room because theirs was like a double.
Yeah, bring a couch in here, anything.
Yeah.
Yielding the bed to Makina, I spread out a mat. There you go. Sleeping bag on the floor for myself. Just keep reading, you fucks.
No!
you aren't gonna sleep with me, huh?
Well, it's a little hot for that, don't you think?
Yeah, that's the point.
At my old school, 10 at night was lights out time, and by 11 they'd cut the electricity to the dorm off entirely. Even the air conditioners went dead.
Okay, this isn't your old school.
In other words, I'm fairly accustomed to sleeping under hot and stuffy conditions, but there's hardly any need to go out of my way to recreate the experience. Ugh, I could never. I have the fan on in the winter.
Oh, I do it, but just for noise.
And also, if by any chance someone really did attack, we'd be we'd be better off sleeping in different points in the room.
Yeah, that way they can get to you easier without having to go through me.
Yeah, he could sleep in front of the door, I guess.
Yeah, I used to need a fan blowing directly on me,
Yeah,
but now I just have it for the
I
noise
can
because I
have
get
it.
cold.
yeah. I can have it just for noise, but I do prefer it to be on me.
Yeah, I'm all old and full of girl juice, so I've got I get cold now. My fucking circulation's awful.
Attack Team A probably leads off by knocking at the door. Just as I'm getting up to reach for the knob, they blast the lock, upper and lower hinges with simultaneous shotgun fire. As I flinch backward reflexively, Team B crashes in through the window on the opposite side of the room and pincers us both. Doubt I'd be able to hold them off for even 3 minutes.
Yeah, this conversation will really help me sleep.
Compared to me and Makina huddling together in one bed where we can easily be encircled, dispersing ourselves on the bed and floor expands the area that has to be targeted, giving us more options.
I mean, there's two teams. One bursts through the window and shoots up the bed, the other one shoots up the floor.
Alright, time to sleep. Get in bed.
Don't let the tactical team shoot.
Yeah.
Mumbling her approval listlessly, Makina turns around to face away from me and then abruptly begins pulling off her clothes on the spot. Now I see why Amane was so concerned about this.
I get it.
After stripping down to her underpants, she takes a big t-shirt gone all loose in the collar, presumably a hand-me-down from Amane, and pulls it over her head as sleepwear. It might be a t-shirt to Amane, but on Makina it's a one-piece dress. Resisting a sudden urge to smile, I open my window and drape the towel I used after my shower outside to dry. I carefully position the towel just low enough to hide the bed Makina's crawled into almost completely and deliberately leave the curtains open. For anyone out there interested in observing this room, the strip of fabric will present a simple hindrance. If the bath towel's position shifts even slightly overnight, it would suggest the existence of someone looking inside. The degree and direction of the movement could even help determine the point from which they're observing us, or wind.
Right.
Basic tricks like this won't often accomplish
Or a
much.
raccoon.
Yeah, against a professional, but a multitude of small insurance policies is the best way to keep things safe and quiet. I'm turning off the lights.
Yeah,
That's not a shirt.
they forgot to draw my shirt. I'm naked now.
A silver of pale light. Yes, I know this is
Okay.
streams into the room for the
I had to look back. I was like, wait, did they misspell that?
street lights outside. There's no sound but the chirping of insects somewhere far away. The cicadas are still singing. The bright city and warm concrete might have caused them to confuse night with day.
Night and day.
I just imagined them like actually singing.
Yeah.
You are the one.
I yawn inside my sleeping bag, feeling dull fatigue slowly spreading out from behind my eyes. Going to bed at this hour should mean I'll wake up briefly around 2:30 in the morning. I'll check up on Makina and then go back to sleep for a few hours.
Hey, Papa.
What's up?
No, let's talk about something.
Again? God, I hate talking. You have anything specific in mind?
Yeah, why couldn't he be one of those cool, like, man of few word type anime guys?
Is there something you want to be when you grow up?
Something I want to be, huh?
A fire truck.
I think this is the first time she's asked me about my future rather than my past. Putting aside the question of whether I'll even have one, it's not like I haven't daydreamed about it every once in a while. But even so, there's a collar on my neck that... How did that get there? That isn't coming off until I'm dead. Taking that into consideration, the number of paths realistically open to me are severely limited. Let's see. I guess I see myself ending up as a taxi driver, maybe. It's a classic choice for our employees. While spending most of your time working for a private taxi company, you get a minor allowance of 150,000 yen a month as a reserve member, ready to be called upon when needed. The jobs open to an employee on the reserve aren't strictly limited, but ideally they want you to in a position where you can respond quickly to an emergency summons. And from that perspective, a taxi driver is probably the best possible option.
You got a fucking fare in your back seat. You're just like, get the fuck out. I gotta go kill someone.
How about you, Makina? You have any ideas about the future?
Actually, that probably tracks with most taxi drivers.
No.
You don't have to think about the thing with your family. I'm asking about your dreams.
I haven't really thought about the future so much. The whole baking thing kind of pales in comparison to things going on in my life now. I just don't want to go back home. That's all I used to think about. Not about who I want to do, what I want to do, or what I can do. Yeah, I sort of vaguely wanted to stay in the school forever, just like this. Stay with all the nice people here forever, but that's not really an option, right?
Well, you're going to graduate eventually.
Not if I'm dumb enough. But I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. But you know what? Lately I've started thinking about it a little.
Oh, mind letting me hear your thoughts?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it since you asked me. Isn't that what we're doing? So, okay. You know how I'm working at the bakery right now? I guess I was sort of thinking I could save up some money and start my own eventually. Or just use the money I gave you.
Wait a second. Money could be used to purchase goods and services.
Ah, that's right. She did say something about a sniper or a baker, didn't she?
I want to open a gun shop / bakery. So I'd set up this bakery by the ocean. And sort of be like a little cafe.
Cake by the ocean.
Oceana, I'd call it. People could come in and eat freshly baked rolls and bread and stuff.
And have it all stolen by seagulls.
I want to set it up someplace where everybody can drop by, even after we all graduate from Mihama. That way I can still see all my friends whenever I want.
Yeah, totally. Everyone from high school always sticks around, and you see them all the time after you graduate. I mean, I guess we're a bad example of that.
That's true. All of my friend did.
Well, I left. I came
That's true.
back. We technically didn't graduate together.
There's an idea. If you had a bakery like that, I could stop by my taxi to hang out.
No, come on, you're supposed to be running the bakery with me.
What, I'm part of this too?
We need a janitor. Yep, that's right. I'll bake the bread, so you're in charge of the coffee and tea. What you think?
I see. Yeah, I guess I could grow a man bun and... I guess that kind of life wouldn't be half bad either.
I know, right? It'd be lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun every single day.
Yeah, almost like a dream. I don't know exactly what kind of life Makina's lived up until now.
The real question is what kind of stupid names are we going to have for the size of our drinks?
But I do know a little about the Irisu, a family of immense power that stays behind the scenes, constantly maneuvering deep below the surface of society. I know Makina didn't ask for the role they've forced onto her shoulders. Even as a child, she sensed something strange about the world she lived in, so clearly different from that of others her age, and in time she came directly into contact with the foul corruption inside her own family.
My grandpa smells bad.
That's great, Makina.
He smells like drinking and smoking.
I've had a few, but I'm cool to drive.
That corruption claimed her father, the only person in the Irisu household who really loved her. She hasn't had a real ally since. Even that small goal of opening a bakery, hardly the wildest of ambitions, must seem like a faint and distant dream to Makina.
Shoo! Ha!
Oh, I thought she...
I'm sleeping.
Raccoon? The towel moved!
Makina's hopes for the future had stayed hidden away deep inside for some time. Maybe speaking them out loud provided something in the way of catharsis. Catharsis?
Yes.
Yeah, that word. The girl's already snoring softly into her pillow.
I thought you were like doing one of your patented say the word wrong on purpose.
No, I was like,
things.
wait, what is that word?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
catharsis.
Yeah. If my
Closure.
child...
Well, not closure. Peace of mind.
Yeah. Has dreams, I won't spare any effort to help make them happen. That's my role now. Plus, I have my daughter's money.
Right.
The problem is Makina's grandfather.
Also, I want to be a cab driver. How am I gonna serve drinks?
The girls told him that she isn't going to return, but I can't imagine he'll accept that answer.
No, wants nothing to do with the Irisu clan anymore, but simply declaring that won't bring this to an end.
Even if we did manage to win over her grandfather, the Irisu aren't a small enough organization to be swayed by the will of one soft-hearted individual.
And it cuts to like a few days later, and it's just like the grandpa shows up. He's like, "Yeah, we found someone else. We don't care.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, whatever.
You got some bread?
You want to go to the zoo? Here, there's some lions. It's got like a fucking ash jar wedged into its eyeball.
It was too late.
Urn. That's the word.
Yeah.
Ash jar.
Ash jar.
Just put me in the ash jar.
It was too late the moment the old man learned she was in good health. Makina will be dragged into a power struggle. Whether or not she wants any part of it, there's no longer any room for doubt.
Oh my god. It's like that fucking 3v1 rafting game in Mario Party where your hand gets all fucked up, but you gotta do it.
You know the one.
Exactly. What is that called?
Paddle battle.
Thank you. I knew you would know the name.
And
I
then
was like, raft attack. Raft something.
even if I make the whole world my enemy, huh? Might have gone a little overboard with that one. But there are some things a man has to do. I've made my decision, and I'll carry it out, even if that means tearing the chains off my neck and becoming a stray. I think this job might be the reason why I'm here. And in that light, it feels as though my life might have some small meaning of its own.
It's like that Jet Li movie where he's got the metal collar. And he's like a dog, but he's not.
That one I
What's
can't
that
help
called?
you. Paddle battle.
Unchained? Something like that? No, that's Django.
Django.
Unchained. No,
Yeah.
yeah, there is. It's like like one of those like early 2000s karate type movies that
Yeah.
Jet Li and all them were in all the time. What the fuck was that movie called? Because it was undisputed. That's gonna bother me. I'm gonna look that up.
The next morning, I wake up drenched in sweat. Not that anything was out of the ordinary, just the usual nightmare. As planned, I woke up at 2:30 to check up on Makina, and the girl was still out like a light, drooling onto an already filthy pillow. All well and good.
Unleashed.
Okay,
Not unchained. Unleashed.
that makes sense.
Because he's like a trained killer fighter, kung fu guy, and then
Yeah.
some family takes him in or something. I don't remember. It was stupid.
But when I tried to go back to sleep, I found my nerves were badly on edge. Although I kept my eyes shut and turned around in my sleeping bag many times, I couldn't manage to get much rest. When I did nod off into light slumber, I'd spend maybe 15 minutes in the nightmare, and then jerk awake again. The pattern played out again and again, straight through to morning. Just how long will it take before I can forget that day? The memory's glued in place, never fading no matter how many years pass. I can even remember the dull sensation of the weapon against my palm. As I wipe beads of sticky sweat from my forehead with the back of one hand, my half-open eyelids twitch at the touch of summer sunlight. The light pouring in through the window is already intense, suggesting another blazing hot day to come. This is no good. My harsh breathing just doesn't want to settle down. I can't get back into my normal rhythm. This heavy, irritating feeling as though I've got some malevolent spirit squatting on my back lingers on and on. Just my sleep paralysis demon.
It's your master's ghost.
Suddenly realizing my throat's painfully dry, I force my leaden body off the ground and crawl out of my sleeping bag. I pour myself a glass of tap water from the kitchen sink, and then another, and another. I can't stop sweating. No matter how many times I wipe the salty liquid off my face, the beads keep trickling down. In the moment I realize they're actually tears, I sense someone gazing at me.
No. Papa. What's wrong?
Nothing, Schwang.
Oh, wait. I think we've been tear gassed.
No doubt, woken by the sound of the gushing faucet, Makina's sitting up in bed. Her eyes are still bleary with sleep, but her gaze is focused intently on me.
Are you crying? What a bitch.
It's nothing, I'm just sweating from my eyes.
We were just cutting onions.
Rather than embarrassment at letting the girl see me crying, fear at having revealed my weakness takes precedence.
I'm not crying. I'm just allergic to jerks.
Well, that's rude.
Menaced by some vaguely defined shadow, overwhelmed by the need to escape, I hurriedly throw on my running clothes. Gotta run from the demons.
Run
Am
through
I
the
right?
tears.
Papa?
I'm gonna run for a while and leave you alone here.
Yeah, windows open. It's fine. No one would ever attack in the day.
Beyond pathetic.
It's not like they're the type of people who would set an explosive in the middle of the day or anything.
No matter how many years pass, I'm still a gutless weakling brought to tears by dreams. I'm always running away from something, always being chased by shadows and armed gorillas.
Always running up that hill. Running up that building.
Even after my master took me in, this fundamental cowardice never really went away.
Cowardice always makes me think of a big chicken.
Because of cockatrice?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what, like that, just that word for some, it always makes me think of the giant, like, chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense, because being a chicken is being a coward.
Right. Maybe
That's not the connection.
That's the connection you make.
I guess, but it's just, it's the foundation of that word just reminds me of that fucking mythical chicken creature.
I need to protect Makina. For her sake, of course, but also for mine.
I really like sake.
If I were to lose even her, I don't think I'd be able to get back on my feet again. I run into the muggy morning as if fleeing from that frightening thought.
Wasn't she supposed to be running with you too?
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
Sure.
Makina, are you really alright with this?
Yeah. Nah, I wouldn't mind losing my virginity to you, Papa.
Alright, what?
Did this happen, or did he have this dream and that's why he's crying? He's like, oh God, I'm a pedophile.
No, I want you to take it from me. This is how we're getting the sex scene in.
I get, what?
Very well, then Papa will now rob you of your virginity.
Don't say it like that.
Yay! Rob it real good, man.
Hooray! Sexual assault.
Here we go.
Now, where are we going?
Downtown.
No, I get it. You're putting it in. Sure, you do that. Owie! What? Stop! Hold on a second. This is freaking ridiculous, you know.
I'm not even halfway in yet, you know.
Oh, this ain't happening. No way, no how. Any more than this and you're gonna rip me apart, okay? Sorry, but I'm throwing in the towel for today.
Let me explain something to you, Makina. When a man sets his mind on something, he can't just casually reverse course halfway through. You understand?
I really hope this is a dream he had. I guess he did say he always has nightmares.
Yeah.
Well, I get where you're coming from, but...
Okay, then, let's get back to it.
No! You're tearing me apart!
Lisa, you're tearing me apart. Oh, hi, Mark.
Makina, wasn't that a figure of speech? It seems you're literally tearing.
I done been torn clean apart, just like a bag of chips.
Having been ripped apart, Makina.
Threesome time. Yep.
I done split into two!
What the fuck is wrong? Maybe that's not okay. It wasn't. It was her, or something like that. She gets divided into Makina A and Makina B.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh wait, it's me.
I watch a lot of anime.
Yeah. When I returned from my run, I found Amine waiting for me in the lounge. From what she tells me, it seems Makina's been acting strangely. Early this morning, the girl visited Amine's room with a somewhat discouraged look on her face and proceeded to sit around sighing heavily. Amine tried to talk to her, but she answers only in vague grunts and monosyllables. Speculating that things hadn't gone well in bed last night, Amine searched for appropriate words of comfort, but when she looked back after taking her eyes off the girl for a brief moment, it seems that Makina had begun vigorously kneading wheat flour dough in the kitchen, cheerfully singing an incomprehensible mystery song to herself.
Where did you get that?
The other one is bakery me.
Puzzled at this rapid improvement in her
Like
mood,
Severance.
Amine shrugged and went off to take a shower, but when she returned to her room, this time she found Makina curled up in the corner of the room with her head in her hands, groaning miserably. Faced with these absurdly dramatic and seemingly random mood swings, Amine arrived at the bold hypothesis.
There are actually two Makinas. Figured it must be that sort of trick.
No, my sister did actually fake her death.
Yeah. Alright, Amine, first of all, let's think this over rationally. Who would this trick be trying to deceive, and to what end?
Well, wow, what the fuck?
Are you okay?
It's not like I was really being serious, you know? Guess I'm just a little curious if something happened last night.
Nothing worth mentioning.
Oh, was that bad?
I do have a rough idea as to the root cause of Makina's unusual behavior. The girl's had a heavy problem fall onto her out of nowhere. It's not something she can carelessly discuss with her friends, but moping around in silence would only attract concern, making her feel even more awkward and miserable. So she forced herself to smile and sing in an attempt to lighten the mood. But soon enough, some careless thought abruptly reminded her of her worries. And once again, Makina ended up with her head in her hands, sighing and groaning over the problems she can't possibly resolve on her own. The one and only person she can really talk up to about all this is me. Seeing tears on my face this morning must have worsened her emotional turmoil. Rather than running off in an inept attempt at hiding what happened, I should have sat down and talked to the girl honestly. Looking back on it now, I regret that choice, but I just couldn't look at her in the face after dreaming about tearing her apart.
See, that wasn't his dream. That was her trying to cut. That was her being
yeah,
like, yeah,
okay.
there's two of them. So this must have been what happened. You fucked her into two. It's like, no. I mean, it was just Amine's weird way of trying to get you to admit that you had sex.
Mm-hmm.
So were the two of you in fact able to successfully engage in sexual relations last night?
Well, hello to you too. I mean, why are you even here?
To find out if you engaged in sexual relations last night.
Are you the new Yumiko? Are you this route's Yumiko?
Maybe? I heard from Amane-san last night that you and Maki-chan were to begin sharing a bed. I suppose there's something of the yenta... What? About me? As Maki-chan's friend, it proved impossible to merely shrug the matter off. Accordingly, I decided to directly interrogate the main culprit as to the outcome.
Has this been approved by the principal? I don't think this would be approved by the principal. Is it still summer? I guess she's not here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this works. Summer in Japan's only like a month.
Yeah, well, yeah, they have
Isn't it?
month-long breaks
Yeah.
that they split up.
But then there's like weird like
They don't do
weeks or there's like golden
Yeah,
weeks
they don't
and-
have just one long vacation like we do. They split it up into multiple smaller ones.
Probably better.
I would rather do that. 3 month-long breaks rather
Yeah.
than... Yeah. Look, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but I didn't do anything I need to feel guilty about. Makina came to my room and slept in my bed. I slept on the floor. That's it. Nothing else happened. Clear enough for you?
So that's why Makina's kind of down today. Couldn't get it up. What a letdown. I'm disappointed in you, Kazami-san. San. Whatever.
Sorry. Why?
Listen carefully, Yuuji. When a girl stays over in a man's room, she's as good as saying, "Do me now." Not true.
I mean, I told you guys about the scenario. Like, she's worried about fucking dying.
Well, he didn't know. He didn't tell them that.
Well, okay.
Amane could just tell that it was like a
That's right.
something
Yeah,
serious.
she did know.
It
Okay.
wasn't them just joking around.
So she thinks it is that.
yeah.
I really don't think that's a universal law.
Yeah, it seems like Yumiko's the only one who's kind of caught on.
That's right, yeah. Because she's part of that rich person's Facebook.
Right.
Personally, I've heard plenty of stories about women crashing at a male friend's place after missing the last train home, then awkwardly shooting the guy down when he tries to make a move.
Yeah, heard plenty of stories, not lived them, right? it totally happened to my friend, Guji.
Who is this Yuuji? Can I meet him?
Is he hot? Stealing herself in preparation for making love, she takes a long, thorough bath, clutching a pillow against her chest to hide the rapid breathing in her heart. She lies ready and waiting, only to be thoughtlessly ignored. At this rate, Maki-chan's pride as a woman will be reduced to tatters.
Okay. But what exactly are you telling me to do here?
Makina. Makina's baking some bread in my room right now. How about you sneak up and hug her from behind and whisper, "Makina, I want you," in her ear. Should be good enough.
Who are you people? Why do you want me to do this so bad? But look, what if she just shakes me off and yells, "Cut it out," or something? Now I'm the one nursing the bruised ego.
Yeah, but it seems like you don't actually care, so would you care if she...
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like the kind of shit that she'd laugh about.
Sulky women are troublesome beyond measure. The representative director of the Troublesome Women's Society, Madam Jib, is a prototypical example.
Just give her a salad. Or wait, no, she eats that when she's mad.
Not only will she shriek, "Cut it out," when you try to make amends, if you actually stop, she'll get even angrier. It's truly incomprehensible.
Yeah, she says cut it out, 'cause she's like, "Oh, don't get me all turned on," and then you stop, and she's like, "What the fuck?" Don't fucking start something you can't finish, motherfucker. For all your posturing about being a grown-up, in the end you're just a little boy, too. You're completely clueless, Yuuji. Now go, like pee on her or something? I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Have sex with me with practice.
Yeah, there you go.
Just what I need, another pain in the ass.
I mean, if that's what you're into. Listen up! When a tsundere says stop, it means go. Understand? If she yells, "Don't push me!" that's your cue to push her. That's the tsundere! Amane furiously writes. Isn't it less of a tsundere and more of a slapstick comedian?
In the first place, Makina's not...
Amane furiously scribbles out what she wrote.
Makina's not exactly a tsundere, right?
In any case, even if she's saying
Just
no,
look over and Amane's like, fuck! Like,
so close. Maybe she's saying no. Deep down inside, she's going, come at me harder. Pin me down as I struggle and scream. Got it? This is terrible advice.
You people need psychiatric help.
This is not okay. Don't do this.
We need more therapists here.
No wonder weebs are so unsuccessful with women.
Well, sort of, I guess. Maybe.
I'm here to interject because you guys are just fucking weird.
I'm the closest to normal, and I carry a box knife everywhere.
Another early morning gathering, I see. And what are you people plotting this time?
Sexual assault.
So the usual, then.
Yeah, pretty much. We're not really plotting anything, you know? It's just, even though... Oops. I clicked. I'm lost. It's just, even though Makina stayed the night in Yuji's room, he's saying nothing happened. What the fuck? Stop. So we started talking about if he was just lying, and if there really wasn't anything, then why not? Or something like that, I guess. I don't know. I lost the plot.
Kazumi-kun.
Yes?
It's like the first time you've ever said my name like that.
Although you possess an easily misunderstood personality and a tendency to make rather extreme jokes with a straight face, I don't believe you're a dishonest man at heart.
Then my plan is working.
So why didn't you pork her? While it might not always be obvious, I view you as relatively sensible individual.
That might be the first time I've ever heard anyone use the term pork, unironically.
So I'm going to ask you to tell me the honest truth. Did you sleep with Irisu-san?
Like I said, I didn't touch the girl. How many times do you people expect me to explain this?
Oh my god, he's fucking through a sheet! my apologies, but might you be suffering from erectile dysfunction?
Do you honestly believe me to believe,
Seriously?
expect me to
You
believe
seriously
that?
didn't touch her? So you're a wimp, is that it? Spineless wimp? You got no dick, you dickless chump?
Ah! I mean, you can see the outline.
Oh, you really are a grower, not a shower.
You're so damn noisy. Don't all start squawking at once. We can't voice that.
Sorry to keep you waiting, but I baked the buns.
And now it's Yuji's turn.
Yeah. Why is everyone gathered up out here? Are we having one of them meetings again? Then why is Yuuji here?
Do I need to go get my hood?
No. Don't ask me. Too much damn time on their hands. A lot of them.
Yeah. I don't really get it, but whatever. Yeah. Hey, everybody, you want to try some buns? Behold my long-awaited new work. The M8I2.
M8I2?
Okay, good. I said it right.
Mission Impossible 82?
That's about how many there are. Indeed. The M, a general classification. Oh, classification indicating this here's a melon bun. The 8 means that it's my 8th pastry product. The I stands for the manufacturer, Irisu. And the 2 at the end means it's version 2.0. It's kind of like Formula 409.
But what if you make something else that starts with M, like a macaroon?
Shit! In other words, this sucker's received 2 big revisions since the beta test. Now new and improved.
The first one exploded a car. They just look like normal melon buns, so what's improved about them?
No, including 50% more melon.
There's PCP in these ones.
And dough swells up when you bake it right. So I tried making little waves of pie crust with pastry cutters. And then inserting it in between the outside cookie dough and the bready base. Keep them separate like
the Offspring says. Gotta keep them separated.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Now I wanted to emphasize the crunchy feel when you bite inside. Arguably the very heart of the melon bun experience.
Well, it looks like you guys have this all sorted out. I'm just gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna
mosey.
leave this conversation before it continues.
Sort of like the wing of an airplane, structurally speaking.
Oh my god. I don't want to hear more about airplanes or gliders, please.
Let me tell you about my ailerons.
Yeah.
Indeed. That's what gave me the idea. This sucker's modeled after the wing of an H-8K flying boat.
What kind of pastry is that?
A dumpling.
That doesn't start with an H.
No kidding. You've clearly put some thought into this.
A hoogie bun.
Well, how about you try some? It's pretty friggin' good.
Herm.
Oh my god, it's that good. He hermed. That means he likes it.
I see. That layer of air between the surface and main body really does emphasize something. The crispness of the cookie dough. Not half bad.
Sorry, I'm like resting my arm on the couch.
Yeah.
If I rest it too much, then my
I
hand
did it.
relaxes.
Whatever VN I played too,
Yeah.
I just kept clicking.
I know, right? Come on, everybody. I'll try some too. I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, let's see here. You're right. This really is different. It's light and airy, but kind of crunchy. I think I actually like this.
This really do be hitting different.
But it's a little hollow, too. Doesn't feel like there's much there, you know?
You mean like you?
Okay, what the fuck?
True, but it might be quite tasty. Warmed up with some ice cream on top.
Yeah, that's probably the case with everything.
Ice cream on top of literally almost anything makes it better, except for
Yeah.
like cheese.
It's probably good, too. People put
It's like the only thing cheese doesn't go with.
slice of American cheese on top of apple pie.
Yeah, I can't.
That's a weird thing that people do. I've never had it, but...
Makina, I'm gonna slap you. I stopped counting these.
Looks like reaching a more satisfying density is indeed the next problem to address. Gotta get cracking on that M81i3.
Is that a firecracker?
What, you've already got the next edition planned out?
I mean, this one failed, so I just added a number. Do you not? I feel like you would understand why why this works.
This is the update that allowed sex to Fortnite.
Indeed. This time I want to make a tic-tac-toe pattern between the bread and the cookie dough, and then fill the space up with cream like an integral tank.
So we're switching from the flying boat to the flying cigar, huh?
The instant you take a bite, fresh cream comes splurting out from all sides. And I name it One Bite Overflow. It's my Z move. This sucker's gonna sell. Won't be easy to eat, but it'll sell.
Not sure if I follow the logic there, but a passion for experimentation is a good thing.
It bodes well for tonight.
Apparently, I have to have sex with you.
Yeah.
It's been decided. In a society defined by abundant plenty... Isn't that redundant?
Wait, in a society defined by abundant plenty.
Something
Yeah.
something that's tasty but tricky to eat.
Plentiful abundance?
I don't know. Might distinguish itself as high class precisely because of the slight inconvenience involved. The girl might not be too far off conceptually. That's all well and good, but at this point, Amane takes the conversation down a troubling new path.
Y'all fuck? So, this has been bugging me for a while, but why is this melon bun round? Don't that make it a sunrise instead? Who do you say that shit to be?
Let me just dim the lights so I can kick your ass.
Thanks to this cryptic remark from our former Kanto resident, what the heck is a sunrise becomes the hot topic of the moment. Not that I particularly give a shit.
It's a blowjob first thing in the morning.
Well, that's an episode.
It's a sunrise.
Yay!
Yay!
We did it, but we didn't do it.
Alright, I'm going to my job. They just hug her from behind and whisper in her ear. I'm sorry, they made me do this.
Yeah, I didn't want to do
I
it
didn't want
either.
this. You should have heard the things Amane was explaining about splitting you in half. I don't like this anymore.
I need an adult.
I don't want to be the dad anymore.